Joseph, Wing Bro, coming to you from my humble abode, my sofa here, downtown Santo Domingo. So I've got a new setup, a bit more relaxed to talk in this way. Don't have to hold the phone, I've got a stand here. And I'm going to talk today about international life wings. International life wings. So, where do we begin with this one? Obviously on the channel, I talk mostly about pickup, I talk about daytime cold approach, I talk about dating and mating and seduction. But there really is frankly, there is only so much that you can talk about on that topic. And there is only so much that guys can learn through videos. There's only so much you can learn through videos. You've got to get out there and start practicing. And once you've started practicing, at a certain point, you've got to get feedback from someone who's qualified to give you feedback. Unless you're just very good to begin with, in which case, go and enjoy yourself. But once you've actually got started, what you find in a fairly short amount of time is guys tend to find that their location limits them. So if let's say you're in the UK or you're in the US and you're in a slightly secondary city of 300,000, they tend to be more closed-minded and people tend to be more invested in each other's behavior. It's very difficult in those environments to actually do well in something like daytime cold approach. It's very out there. It's considered to be abnormal behavior. The girls are more self-conscious and you're more self-conscious as well. And you just have less opportunity. So quite quickly, guys tend to realize, shit, I might need to move. About half the guys I've worked with in Wingbro have moved. They've moved from a small place to a bigger place because they realize there's no fucking opportunity. You can't drill a well in the middle of the fucking Sahara, yeah? You've got to go to somewhere where there's a supply, where there's water. You don't go fishing in the River Rother. You want to go fishing in beautiful tropical waters. So location is super important. And then once you've got the location and the skills, then you start to realize, shit, I can do this for a while solo. But actually then it becomes a little bit boring. It becomes, it's not great for your mental health to go and do massive sessions alone week after week. I'd say you can do that for about a year, 18 months. I did a solid year because I was just determined to master the skill. And then I did intermittent for the second year. And now I just don't do big sessions at all alone. I just go and do 1-2 approaches. I usually just do 1 approach a night. And so you realize, God, if I'm going to do big sessions and I'm going to have fun with this, I actually need to have wings alongside me. Yeah? I actually need to have other highly skilled guys alongside me. And part of my motivation for this channel, the big part of my motivation for this channel is to build up an international network of wings. That is my biggest motivation for this channel. So the guys that I've trained are now qualified to exist within that network because I've seen them in set. I know they're actually proficient enough to be an asset and they've got skills they can enjoy themselves as well. And so that's my motivation long term. But then you start to look further down the line. How long are we all going to be out there doing cold approach for? Well, if you're good, not that long, because you're going to get a girlfriend, you're going to get a hot babe, and it's not really going to be worth your time. Unless you wanted to coach, it's not going to be worth your time to continuously go out to just do more and more approaches. What's the point? Yeah, you have 1 girlfriend, you have 3 girlfriends, whatever you have. At a certain point, you can't take any more, I've closed 10 models in the last 8 weeks in my phone here. I can't even message half of them. I don't have the time. So that's why I share information, because there's only one of me, and there's other guys out there who don't have the skills. But you realize once you've won the game, once you actually got the skills, you know you can get the girls, and you've got the girl, what do you do then? Well, that's when life actually gets interesting. That's when life actually starts. If you're out there in emotional purgatory with no women, with no nothing, you haven't even started the game, my friend. You're not living life. You're like submerged underwater, looking up, trying to grasp for air. You're just nowhere. The game starts once you've got the skills, once you've got the girl, once you've got the personal life you want. That's when the game starts. And that's what international life wings are all about. It's not just the girls. The girls, you can get the girls, man. I can teach you how to do that in 3 days. That's relatively easy. Even for guys like, for example, guys who've had autism who've come to work with me, guys who've been virgins in their late 30s who've come to work with me, they get it done. They get the girls, they get laid, yeah? That part's easy. It's actually a very low-level, basic goal. The interesting stuff happens later. When we start to travel together, we start to do meetups together, we start to have conversations about where's a good place to live, where's a good place to set up a business, where's a good place for us to invest in property, where's a good, what kind of portfolio are you interested in? Yeah, this is the bigger picture that guys can't see because they've not even got to level 1, which is meeting their basic biological needs. And I understand, but that's just base level. So international life wings are where it is at. And in 2026, fuck me, there's a lot of unpredictability out there. There's a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of unpredictability. And you need to have a network of highly intelligent, well-traveled guys. And this is one of the things I'm building through Wingbro. It's the thing I'm most interested in, to be honest, because long term the value of that is very significant, and it opens doors. It opens doors that we don't even know exist. When you get the network, you get the right people, you suddenly start to see connections, you start to see leverage points you could work on together. And you go, wow, we actually could do something here. That's all corporations are, really. They're just a bunch of guys who got together and started something off. That's all nation states are. It's just a bunch of guys who got together conspiratorially and started something off. And so if you're interested in the international lifestyle, if you're interested in the travel side of things, that's the direction that I'm going to be going in the next couple of months with this channel. I'm going to be talking more about that in the next couple of months. I've done 400 videos on daytime approach and personal life and all my story, etc., and client story. There are 400 videos on this channel about that, which is actually mental when I think about it. They're not well produced, but the informational quality is extremely high. Because based on fact, I'm not some fucking 23-year-old kid who's laid 2 girls and now he's a fucking expert on dating. Yeah, I'm a 40-year-old man. I had a club promotion for 4 years, the largest Latin music promotion in the UK. Dated fucking hell dance teachers, strippers, doctors, lecturers, girls from more than 30 different countries. Okay, so I'm experienced enough. And then daytime approach for the last 3 years, which I've done in everywhere from Manchester to Istanbul to Sarajevo to Santo Domingo to Salvador de Bahia. I've done it all over the place. So I know how it all works. I can help guys with that. But that's really just baseline. That's just baseline stuff. And I'm in this space talking about it. But a more interesting thing long term is the mafia, is the Bratpa, is the wolf pack. And I think it's a very good initiation for me to see. It's a good initiation into some kind of informal brotherhood, friendship group, mutual interest group, a cold approach immersion, because there's no hiding, man. There's no hiding. And every single guy who's actually worked with me, I have true respect for. Even 1 or 2 guys who got got a fucking ass kicking. They got a kicking, especially the first day out. They thought it was going to be easier than it actually was, and they got battered in a couple of cases because there's things they didn't even know they were missing that they were missing. I still truly have the utmost respect for those guys, truly, because every single guy went in for every single approach that we agreed upon. They fucking went for it, and they took feedback on board. And even if the day didn't go well and they realized, shit, I've got a long way to go, they still took that first step. They still had more balls than 99% of the guys out there who just are never going to do cold approach. And even guys who get on calls with me, I have a lot of jokers who get on calls, which, by the way, Wingbro is closed for the next 2 months. There's no calls, there's no nothing. I'm working on my other business. I'll still come on and chat, but there will be there's no calls. I'm not training anyone for the next couple of months. Just had one too many, I don't even know how to describe them, to be honest. It's just guys, I don't know really what their motivation is. I just can't relate to guys like that. I've just had one too many guys getting in touch who were just kind of a joke, to be honest with you. So, yeah, I'm only interested in serious guys. The guys who work with me, as soon as they walk in the room, they've got a presence. All of them, even the autistic guys. Honestly, especially the autistic guys. And then there's neurotypical guys who get in touch from. They're so fucking weak, basically, so feminized. They can't even like commit to something pretty basic. They call me and then they try to get me fucking weird, dude. So it's closed. No more jokers. I don't have time for it. I've got a business to run and I've got girls to see. So yeah, things will open up again in the summer, but for now, I'm just gonna enjoy being on this channel. And we're gonna start doing some other types of content, some shooting stuff, and also doing some lifestyle stuff as well. Because it is ultimately a lifestyle that we're buying into. Yeah, the cold approach stuff, I'll do some infields later this year. But for the time being, people who already enjoy my content, you can just continue to tune in. And I'll be talking about bigger goals for the next couple of months. So as I said, there's 400 videos on cold approach on this channel. You've got enough. If you like me, you can download my entire brain basically on this channel alone. And yeah, just going back to the type of guys who do well in cold approach, I've realized it's not every type of guy. Every guy I've worked with is an alpha male. Just there's no doubt about it. Even guys who think they might not identify as an alpha male, they are. And women see them in that way as well. Guys who are willing to go over in the street, stop the girl, they're ballsy enough to do it. They're ballsy enough to get on a call with me, and they're ballsy enough to actually sign up and then come on and do an immersion and show up. Regardless, there was one guy who struggled. He was like, he was sleeping in a room without air conditioning in the middle of summer, and he basically didn't sleep for 2 days. Came out and absolutely approached like a fucking champ for 2 days. Had my full respect because, we worked on stuff, but he absolutely pushed himself. Did tons and tons of approaches, and by the end, he'd realized, shit, I can actually approach like very hot girls and they're into it. Whereas when he started off, he thought he liked indie type of girls, and he realized actually no, I just like fit blondes. So that was an interesting experience. But yeah, guys coming through adversity, guys who are not neurotypical, and then other guys who've got it all, they've got everything on paper, and they just haven't been able to connect the dots with the approach yet, which is completely normal. Come and absolutely crush it. Yeah, it's basically, it is what it is, man. Yeah, they are guys who are way above average. Guys who want to take their fate into their own hands, know that they've got the balls to do it, know that they've got the intelligence to realize this is something I can improve. With the right feedback, I can get better. And so those are the guys I'm looking for. This is not a channel for the 99%. This is a channel for the 1%. Yeah. I could fantasize and say everybody can do this. They can't. They can't do it, my friend. They don't have the minerals. Even some guys who get on calls with me, they just don't have the minerals. And so they can carry on doing whatever they're doing. Probably been incels, you know. The younger guys, I don't mind. You know, some guys get in touch, they're very young. I've had like an 18-year-old, guys in their very early 20s. I don't mind so much because, you know, they're figuring their way through. I've had guys like very young who have actually come to work as well though. But I can give them the benefit of the doubt. Guys in their mid-30s and 40s, fucking around, go fuck yourselves. Go absolutely fuck yourselves, yeah? And by the way, any of those guys, don't get in touch with me again because I won't work with you. Yeah, if you're too much of a pussy, I'm not the guy for you, my friend. I'm not the guy. So, yeah, there's my customer service, yeah? I am not trying to attract clients. I'm not taking any clients for the next 2 months. This is a haze. Are you tough enough to do it? Yeah, and if not, if you are, I will support you all the way. But if you're a pussy, go, I don't know whose channel to watch, to be honest. I don't know whose channel you should watch. Because all the guys I know, all the other guys you've seen in my videos, content producers, they might come across, you know, relaxed guys. They are fucking animals when it comes to it, yeah? They're tough guys when it comes to it. You've got to be. Otherwise, I don't know, just go on Tinder, I don't know. Go and be an incel. Right, let's have a look here. Can any guy genuinely build this skill? No, they can't. Let's have a look here. So a question, when did approaching women become easier for you? When did it click? Fair question. It fluctuates. When I started off, it was the easiest thing in the world. When I was 15 years old, I went and did about 30 approaches in a club when I was 15. Met a girl, pulled a girl that night, she became my girlfriend and lost my virginity to her. So when I started off, I knew so little, I didn't care. I just went after it, yeah? Pure self-confidence, pure teenage self-confidence. Then you get into the adult world and it's a bit different. England is also a culture where people are very, basically just a bunch of fucking, just bitter people who are like weirdly socially awkward for no reason until they get drunk. So I was like trying to navigate that as a young guy and struggled. I would say in nighttime, things got easier when I turned about 27, 28. I got a feel for it at that age. But I probably did about, honestly, probably about 500 approaches at nighttime. And I would try stuff. I'd literally go out and I'm going to be like, I'm going to be super aggressive tonight. And then the next time I go out and be like, I'm going to really tease the girl tonight. And I actually worked like that. I don't know if that's a good way to do it, but that's actually what I did. And I found my style. But it was a few hundred approaches for sure. And then I got a wolf pack around me. And then the biggest thing with this, if you want to make your life easy, is have other guys around who are good. That's the biggest thing. By far. Yeah. That makes everything easy. It makes everything easy. It makes everything a lot easier. And in terms of comfort in daytime approach, it's fluctuated a lot, ups and downs. It's like I've had sessions I did 18 months ago where I felt so relaxed, it was bizarre. And then I've had sessions, you know, 2-3 months ago, my last session in Serbia, I was like, I didn't really want to go out, but I forced myself to do it. It was quite a tough session. It actually went all right, but it was like, fucking hell, tough session. I did too many sessions in Belgrade. And I don't know, I got Belgrade fatigued by the end, even though the girls were good. So it fluctuates. The biggest thing you can do though is get yourself around the right guys. Too many solo artists in this space. Yeah. Nothing can be achieved alone. That's why my biggest goal on this channel is to build up a network. So if you think you've got something to offer, a network, you can get in touch with me on Instagram, Joe Blake Lisbon. You can get in touch with me, we can talk a little bit. I'm not taking any calls at the moment, no, because I've got another business I'm working on. I just don't have time. So immersions will come later this summer, but yeah, it's going to be very highly vetted. I may only work with 3 or 4 people because I only want to work with the elite, to be honest with you. So yeah. What made it click? Relaxation is important. So learning to relax. learn to relax. Relaxation is a skill, so learn to relax. Did a video on that yesterday. Watch that video. Relaxation is a skill which you can learn. Can any guy genuinely build a skill? No, most guys can't because they're pussies. What do you want me to say? They can't. They're just pussies. So no, they can't. I'm tilted sideways. Thanks for telling me. It said I tried to. I've got it on a stand, and so I thought let me try a different style today. I didn't realize it was looking sideways. Thanks for letting me know. I'll turn it. Killing and eating animals is uncivilized. It's time to return to the garden. Go vegan. Fuck you, dude. Tell me to go vegan. I literally have eaten so much steak today. That's how I look so good at 40 years old, son. That's how I look like this at 40 years old. It's not the vegan shit, my friends. Yeah? Why on earth are you on my channel talking about vegan? Do I look like a vegan, bro? Is tonality important? Great question, mate. Great question. I'm going to turn this around. No. Hold on, I might be able to do it. Tonality is really important. Yeah, mate. Tonality is really important. There we go. Tonality is really important. Yeah, I'm going to go into that in a moment. Again, you can check that out on my video yesterday, where I spoke specifically about vocal tonality. It's one of the most important things in non-verbal communication is your vocal tonality. It needs to either be flat or it needs to go down. So when you're talking, you want to talk in a nice flat way. You want to control your pacing. Hey, excuse me. Hey, you look incredible this evening. I love your dress. Whatever, it's a little bit cheesy what I just said there, but something along those lines. It really doesn't matter what you say. It's mostly your tonality, really. And you want it to be flat or you want it to go down. So flat, or maybe at the end of your sentences, it slightly goes down. What you don't want to do is have that upwards lilt where you're saying something and at the end of your sentence, you start to go up and it sounds like you're asking a question when actually you're just actually making a statement and it sounds like you're really unsure of yourself. It's this horrible Valley Girl Australian thing. On an instinctive level, I just hear that and I think this guy sounds like a pussy. And a girl feels exactly the same way. They're not going to tell you, but it's something instinctive they're going to feel. So vocal tonality is important. Vocal volume is also important. It's probably one of my strongest suits, particularly from the club days, is vocal volume. You actually have to have enough volume to come in and stun out sometimes the girl's brain a little bit, yeah? Male voices are actually a lot more powerful than female voices, so use that vocal volume. Yeah, tonality is important. You sound like a gay bestie with high intonations. I don't know, dude. I kind of don't believe that, to be honest with you. Most guys, when they use a high vocal pitch, it's usually due to anxiety. If you've been through normal puberty, you should have a normal male pitch, right? You know, guys have lower pitch than women. So if you've been through normal puberty, you should have a lower pitch than a woman. Just work on your volume. You can do vocal exercises. There is actually a video I did about a year ago in the park in Sheffield where I talked about your voice. It's a very important seductive tool. I can get girls to masturbate just from calling them. I can give them orgasms just from talking to them. The approach is like 1% of this stuff, you know? The other stuff is like more important. Like, I don't even know what to say, to be honest, because I share some stuff on the channel, but like I've got, I don't know, 10 models numbers in the last 8 weeks. Last Friday, I approached a girl, closed a girl who's a famous actress in the country that I'm in. I didn't know that at the time. There's a 19-year-old who wants to see me tonight, and I just like went for a run instead and then decided to do this video. There's another 19-year-old who wants to see me this weekend. I don't know what to say. And there's girls, still girls in Serbia, 20-year-old in Serbia who still wants to talk to me. I don't know, dude. And I'm lazy because I don't really care. I don't really care. I care more now about business and helping other guys. And I'm just kind of just spinning my wheels until I feel it's the right time to get someone pregnant and have a child. That's basically what I'm doing right now. You've had girls ask me if you were gay. Okay, fine. That can be a shit test. Where are you based, mate? Because that's quite an insulting question. Where are you based? You're based in the US. You got a lot of these very uppity American and Canadian girls. They might be doing it to fuck with you. Canada, yeah. Maybe you've got a slightly unfortunate, this kind of weird gay American thing that's come through all over the world. I don't understand it. Maybe there's a bit of that. The girls might be just shit testing you though, dude. Yeah, Canadian girls. How do you respond to that? I don't know. Just that's actually a really good shit test. How do you actually respond to that? Yeah, what do you say? Yeah, the only way to respond to that is like, yeah, aren't you a tranny or something? Like, yeah, I thought you look very manly. I don't know, you're turning on, you look very manly or something like that. You'd have to turn it round and do something quite brutal to the girl, in my opinion. Yeah. So, Eugenia de la Rosa Castillo. Hola, Eugenia. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good response, mate. That's a good response. It's a great response. I once had a girl ask me that because I complimented on a dress the first time I saw her. Then the second time, I saw her like a few weeks later. And the second time I saw her, I said something again about a dress. That's a good opening line, right? And I was using that a lot at the time. It's also Dominican as well, so it's like the girls are used to like quite vulgar comments from guys. So that was like almost way too polite. And the second time I asked her about her clothes, she was like, are you gay or something? Like, are you a fucking gay fashion designer or something? And it took me by surprise. I was like, why did you say that? And she was like, oh, just because you're asking me, you're talking about my clothes. I was like, interesting. So, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't overthink it too much. You can do vocal work. I would say it's probably worthy investment. The main thing is, dudes, are you going in with intent and you letting the girls know you're there to fuck them or have them give you the middle finger, fuck off? Like, what is your intent with the girls? Are you there pushing things forward properly in the correct way? Or are you, tiptoeing around the question? Yeah. What I encourage is guys to just push themselves to move things forward. You can be polite, you can be civilized, but move things forward. Yeah. Move things forward and let them know you're there for them. You don't have sexual shame, you're there for them. Yeah, you're beating the bush. Yeah, okay, fine. So, fine, appreciate the honesty. So, yeah, you're, at the moment, yeah, you're early stages. Well done for doing 20, but you've at least learned how to stop girls. Go back to my video. Literally, I put it up yesterday. Watch that in full because that gives you a lot of information about non-verbals and also about conversation topics. The biggest thing is a hard-hitting compliment. You look absolutely smoking today. You look incredible today. You look gorgeous today. Yeah, hard-hitting compliment, yeah? You are there to inseminate her, yeah? Basically, that's what it comes down to. We don't have to say things in that scientific way to the girls, but, you're going over to her for a reason. You're not fucking around. You're not there to talk about the weather. You're there because she's hot. She needs to know that. And that energy is very overpowering for women. Yeah, all this equality bullshit, it's all a thin fucking facade. If you unleash your inner beast, your inner masculinity, which you might be a little bit scrunched up and screwed up right now, so develop that. But if you start to unleash that, you have my full permission to start to unleash it, yeah? if Trudeau fucking arrests you, just send him to my channel and I'll defend you. But guys worry too much. Polite, well put together guys can absolutely go for it with full permission. They don't have to worry that the girl's gonna feel harassed. That's not gonna happen. Not at all. Not at all. Yeah, just start to go for it. Start to unleash. Yeah. Good. Yeah, you're more my type of guy, to be honest. First move. So yeah, this is what I'm looking for. I have a disdain for pussies. I just can't stand them because I find them to be very self-important and narcissistic. I had to go and get my fucking ass kicked. I had to push myself. All my students who did well had to push themselves. Some of them at some significant disadvantage had to. Yeah. When I found my coach, when I wanted to learn daytime approach, I'd already been a club promoter. I'd already got with tons of girls. Yeah. I'd already done so much stuff had so much stuff in the bank already in terms of my experience. I already ran an online business. I was already traveling the world, but I could not do daytime approach because it just felt I had too many questions. Didn't know what the fuck to do. I looked online. I did a quick search and I found a guy who was actually from my region in the UK, right? Got in touch with him. I think I commented on a video. We got on a call the next day. I sent him the money in 15 minutes. Booked, bang, done. We're going. I'm going to learn this. Learned it, practiced it for 2.5, now 3 years, to the point I'm one of the best in the world at it. There's very few people who are even good at it, quite frankly. But that was what I did. Why do you, as a guy who doesn't even have 1/5 of the social experience that I had coming in, why do you get to have a freebie? Why does it get to be easy for you? Did I miss the memo? Yeah, it doesn't. Or guys like, some of the guys I worked with, like the entrepreneur Ben, complete total package guy, everything absolutely on point. He still had to push himself. He still had to go and take feedback and push himself through the weekend. Yeah, like it's not everyone. We all have to do the same thing. So I just find weak guys they're not for me, dude. They're not for me. So the fact you're actually going out there, you're putting your approaches in, this is what I want to inspire. And I just want to separate the wheat from the chaff. Go to someone else's channel if you want to have some guy tell you, I don't know, you're really great and girls should know. You need to get in there. You need to present yourself properly. So yeah, good for you for actually going out to take the action. I would say, if I would give you a takeaway from this video, watch yesterday's video. Watch yesterday's video. That would be the one I would go to. That's the kind of reference. That's a reference, really. I go through all the non-verbals and verbals, and if you just start to practice that, you will start to make some progress. Thank you, mate. I'm not taking calls right now, Ephraim. I've actually closed for the next 2 months. I've got too much work on my other business. I've taken an executive decision. I'll still be making content. But yeah, I'm just going to be enjoying the channel, to be honest, for the next couple of months. Yeah, I'll be doing some stuff up at Carnival and making the lives and so on, doing the lives. But there's 400 videos on the channel. So like if anyone comes across it and they happen to like me, there's enough material for the time being. And I think until I can get infields done, there's not really much point me doing too much more. And the quality of the leads coming in on the calls was just too low. The guys were just they were just not my guys. So I think something changed. Probably once I stopped doing the infields, I noticed the caliber just was reduced. So I've got my other business to focus on. I've got a shit ton of stuff to do there. Yeah, I've got to remind myself. I said this to Balthus the other day. Today in fact. Although I'm doing Wing Bro and it's fun, I already have a full-time business that I'm in, like 10 months of the year. And that's what motors my international lifestyle. That's what, gives me the life that I've got. And I am already where I want to be. And a lot of my network now, this is why I'm interested in the international brotherhoods, is I've got an extensive network now from my travels, because I don't just travel and just like go to the pub every day. In every country that I've been in the last 3-4 years, I've actually got people I would be able to do, I'll be able to do business stuff with. I'll be able to get properties bought. I would know exactly the channels to go through. It's not that easy. When you go to different countries and stuff, you realize there's more setup than you think. Now I've got that in a lot of different countries. And so that's kind of, that's the next phase for me, you know, starting to look at, okay, can we start to invest in Brazil? Can we start to invest in Macedonia? Can we start to invest in Serbia, Dominican, you know? And there's other interesting possibilities as well. That the international lifestyle, I think, is where it's at in the 21st century. There's places living all over the world, having at least 2-3 properties around the world. That's where it's at, man. The days of like, you know, going to, you know, be middle class and, you know, have a big house in the UK or US or whatever, status house and things like that. I don't know, for me, that's not the peak anymore. I think the peak is having a truly international James Bond lifestyle. So yeah, that's what I'm building up in my own personal life. And I would like to welcome the correct guys in through the channel as well. Guys who are interested in the international lifestyle combined with cold approach. Those are my kind of guys. So yeah, we've got some great contacts, man. We've got some great contacts. We're going to be going to some interesting places as well. I'm in a fort. Everyone who's doing this has got their own strengths in their own positioning. Obviously, I think Paul University, your biggest strength is your youth at the moment. It's like, you don't realize it, but it's like you've got time ahead of you and you're putting in all the hours and all the work now. That's fucking awesome. That's the strength. To learn this stuff so quickly, so young, brand creation, content creation, crazily good at cold approach, you know, seduction skills, sales skills. To learn that at a young age, you can just recycle that and develop it over the next 10, 20 years. Obviously, Christian was a literal magician from childhood, which is kind of like an insane skill set to come in with. Balthus is very natural. He's also got his situation in Belgium, which is actually a pretty good situation, which he can use that for leverage. My biggest advantage is my experience, but also my international lifestyle, which is already set up. So I can do Wing Bro as a hobby for the time being. So it actually gives me I think I'm doing all these sales videos, and I'm like, I don't even need a sale. Even if I got one, like today, I got a month immersion. A guy wanted to pay me 20 grand to do a month immersion. I couldn't do it anyway. So I may as well just enjoy the channel for the time being. And yeah, it's a good advantage to come from. Why guys are good at sales, so good with women? You tell me, my friend. You tell me. Type the answer below. You do the maths. Yeah. Not just guys who are good at sales, but it's not just the social skills, it's the fact sales guys are process driven as well. They understand open, lead management, close. It's a sort of pipeline. They understand that. And they're happy to get, sales guys are happy getting people to do stuff, you know. Yeah, even as selling the product, you're kind of selling yourself though. You're kind of selling yourself. Yeah, exactly. And I felt like the last few weeks on the channel, the last about month, honestly, since Serbia, I've just been doing the channel out of discipline, and I haven't really felt there's been some source missing from it, which I had last year. And so I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to enjoy the channel, focus on my main business, and then just enjoy the chicks, to be honest with you. Like, it gets to a point, as I'm sure you're at, where you're like, you're sacrificing your own personal life for guys, and you're like, do they even appreciate what I'm doing? fuck these guys. I'm gonna go out with this 19-year-old, which I'm gonna message after this live. Instead of spending my weekend coaching, I'm just gonna spend my weekend having fun, doing tourist stuff, meeting babes. So yeah, guys who become coaches, you don't realize while you're coaching, you're actually sacrificing. Well, people don't realize they have to sacrifice their own personal life, which they've put so much into, to actually help you guys. So that's an interesting thing, but you're kind of willing to do it because you've had your share base, you've had your fill as a guy, and you do genuinely want to help others. And obviously there's a business aspect as well. There's a financial aspect to it. Obviously, there has to be. But it's more than that. We could do anything for extra money, really. Whatever. And you could set up a business in anything. Paul University, he could set up a business was killing it in property. So he could do that. He could do software. So he could do any type of sales job he wants. He wants to do this. Yeah. So we've got Ave the Great. You started cold approaching for a month. You can't leave the US due to immigration restrictions. Is it worth it in America? I heard you say that American women are not great. Well, Paul University would be well qualified. He's done much more approach with American women than I have. I would say, honestly, my true view of American women is by international standards, they are more like men than they are women. That's just my honest view. I don't know. I could be politically correct. I might end up going to America and asking them for a fucking a refugee visa if the UK continues to go downhill. That's not even a joke, by the way. I think it's a great fucking country, man. Still, it's got a lot of crazy people over there. A lot of nutters. A lot of them end up in Brazil and Dominican Republic as well. Massive country, lots of people. Obviously, there's some good girls. There must be, right? But I just meet so many of, I just my God. Oh my God. Honestly, if I'm in a cafe and there's a group of American girls, I'll probably just leave. I can't stand the way they talk. So for me personally, if I go, it's going to be funny because I'm going to go and do some filming in the US at some point this year. I don't know what the fuck's going to happen. I'll probably just be macking Mexican girls. That's probably what I'll be doing. And the Boricuas. That's probably what I'll be going for. If you're an American guy and you grew up with them and you kind of understand them better than I maybe do, I don't know. You may see them in a different light. I see them as just loud, narcissistic and dumb and mostly fat. Sorry. So what do you want me to say? I've been raised on these fillies from the Balkans, the Bosnian babes with the slimmest waist and the biggest tits in the world. And the Belgrade sleek babes, Barcelona, lived in Spain, I don't know. And UK girls can be a mixed bag as well, but you can find quality in the UK. I will say that. And I am patriotic to a point with my own girls. I don't dismiss them all. Yeah, there's a lot of fat, stupid slappers. There's a lot of the, floaty, kind of weird home counties girls. Not into those. But there are some cool girls, especially around the north, fit, down-to-earth girls. That's what we all want, man. So, I don't know. The only thing I would say is don't use your country as an excuse to develop your skills. At the end of the day, the US, 300 million people? I'm pretty sure the odds are in your favor. Out of 150 million women, I'm pretty sure there are some really good ones, yeah? There might be a few more annoying ones, but you have to ignore them and find the good ones. Yeah, I've dated an American girl before. She was one from a sorority. Was it the fucking Pi Phi or something, sorority? She was fucking cool as that. She was cool. She was a really cool girl. She was hot. She had fucking massive tits. Oh my God. Oh, having a flashback. She was fucking hot, dude. And she was cool. She was really down to earth and really fun. What a girl she was. Really fucking cool. So, yeah. I don't know if there's a selection bias when I've been traveling in Brazil and also Europe, Greece, Barcelona, Dominican Republic. Is there some kind of a selection bias of the girls that travel in groups or something? I don't know. I honestly, if I was an American guy, I wouldn't know what to do with that. I'd just be like, I don't know. I want to go find a Polish girl or something. I don't fucking know. You only follow me, Paul, Balthus, Christian, and Ian. Yeah. Which Ian is that? There's myself, Balthus, Christian. Yeah, mate, I feel really, when I insult an entire country, I actually do feel bad. And especially when I insult the women, because it's kind of like, it's not a very gentlemanly thing to do. But with those girls, man, they're so offensive. It's like, what are you, I'm sorry, I can't, what am I supposed to say? I can't give them a positive review, unfortunately. Oh, Ian, okay, Ian, yeah. Oh, yeah, the legends, mate. Yeah, I met Ian in Belgrade. He's an absolute fucking legend. I loved his approach, very calm, very sleek, and he's on the up, man. He's on the up. He's gonna be. He's still in his development phase, man. So he's developing. I've seen a few of his Ephraim's reports on him. Yeah, this is what happens, man. Guys come in, they get some training, they have some experiences, it fucking changes their life. Imagine Ian in 10 years, he's gonna be smooth as fuck. He's already smooth now, but imagine him in 10 years. He's gonna be just ridiculous. Yeah. What a space, man, what a space, what a cast of characters. But yeah, for me, the bigger game is, it's not just pulling chicks, man. I'm 40 years old. How many chicks do you need to have at like 40? It's not just about women. And for me, the bigger project is building this international network. Because once you've got the right people and you've got the right places, good things happen. Good things happen. Like we just met up this summer, myself, Balthus, and Ephraim, just filming content, training guys, doing immersions, crushing Belgrade, having just an amazing holiday together as well. And it's just get a few good guys together, good things happen, great things happen. And then like the clients we meet as well, they're very, very talented guys in most cases. In actually every case, really, it's like, it's not your average guy who comes in. It's a guy who's fundamentally a combination of self-belief, but also belief that they can do better. Let me put it that way. Belief that they can do better, but also pissed off with how things are going, and pissed off enough to actually put down some cash and start going out into the street and firing shots with us alongside them. And it's a certain type of guy that will do that. And on top of that, they're also talented as well. It's all, tech guys, engineers, doctors, lawyers, graphic designers. YouTube, I had quite a big YouTuber come to work with me. So talented guys. So this is what I want through my channel. So if you want to just get in touch with me and you want to just say, hey, this is me, this is what I do, what you're up to, and you've got some value to share, then you can go to my Instagram and just drop me a private message. Just follow me. I'm building that up, and then just shoot me a private message. That's fine. A couple of guys have done that. But yeah, at the moment, I'm not taking actual calls for immersions because I just don't have the time right now. Yeah, it's been cool. I mean, the people I've met through this have been really cool. Like, I don't know if SB's on, but yeah, I've met a guy when I was out in Bosnia. He started tuning into my lives when I was in Belgrade. And it was so cool when we met because he'd watched loads of my lives. And it's obviously, if you watch someone's content, you do connect with them. Like, you wouldn't just watch anyone's content like for a long period of time. You have to actually feel that this person has got something I resonate with, like in their essence. And so when we actually met, it was like, hey, we're like old friends. We never met really before. We just had some messages back and forth. I was like, this guy might be, who knows, who knows how it's going to be. But it was really cool. It was like we'd known each other for years, just and then we started approaching. Then he came out to Serbia as well, and so yeah, at the moment I'm happy to actually just meet people right now. Was the guy who said was it you, the first move? Yeah, Avit, mi amigo. Where are you from? US. Are you an illegal in the US? Are you being hunted down by ICE as we speak? Why can't you leave the US due to immigration restrictions, my friend? Yeah? And we're gonna have to call Trump and send the boys in black down to your house with the batons. Yeah? Why is that? Is it like once you leave the country you can't get back in or something? But where are you from as well? That's interesting to know. If you're from the Latin community, my friend, you've got more women to go at. You're on a temporary work visa. Okay, fine. Right, well, we won't send ICE to you, mate. Don't worry about it. Where are you from? Are you Indian? Avik the Great sounds a bit of an Indian screen name. But yeah, there's that's another thing in the US. Yeah, Indian. You've got tons of foreign girls to go out, dude. For Indian guys, I would say you definitely want to move away from the Indian. Do you work for Tesla? You want to move away from like the Indian tech worker. You want to move away from that image. And so honestly, like, make sure your look is fucking on point. You probably have an accent, so that's already, it's not great, but don't worry too much about that. Get your look on point. Okay, get your look on point. So if it means going to see a stylist, if it means spending if it means spending some money on some new clothes, get that sorted. Get yourself a decent style. Get yourself a decent style. Yeah, what kind of shape are you in as well? Yeah, so you got Pakistani, lived in Canada since you were 10. So you sound Canadian. Okay, good. Yeah, I mean, I've not been insulting. It's like, it just is what it is, mate. It just is what it is. Indian guys can do fucking well, dude. Indian guys can do fucking well. There's a guy in the Entourage, I don't know if he's still in, but he was doing fucking well for himself. He was like going on all of these my like holistic retreats and stuff. He was a bit of a yoga guy. That was perfect because that's actually fits with the India brand, you know. He was killing it, dude, with all of these yoga bunnies. It's fucking ridiculous. Finding your hyper niche is good as well. So street approach is just a way to get leads, but ultimately what you do learn through street approach is most of these girls are not suitable for you. But they're mostly not suitable for you. I don't even think street approach is the best place to meet women. It's just the most accessible if you have enough skill. Like for me, still my number one place is a dance floor. Hands down, it's not even close. It's by far the number one for me. I can just hold the hand out and I know everything I need to know about the girl within 60 seconds. I don't need to even talk to her. If she's single, I already know. The only thing I don't know is if she's single or not. Which I can't get that information in daytime approach. It's nowhere near as sensual. There's not that physical connection straight away. So for me, the dance floor is still number one. But the thing is, you've got to be in a place where you can do it. I wasn't aware there was much of a dance scene in Bosnia when I was there. So maybe there was, maybe there wasn't, but I didn't find anything. So by learning daytime approach, your personal life is fully bulletproof. You become durable. You're just a tank. You just go over into any terrain and just batter your way through any terrain and you'll get dates, you'll get a girlfriend. You don't have to worry about your personal life ever again, basically. So one of my guys, Ben, that's what he said. He's like, yeah, I've got this girl already in Serbia. She's basically wants to be my girlfriend. Sorry, Ben, if I'm giving your personal life away. But she's already like, she fucking loves this guy already. Yeah. He went over in a bold way. He's already a great guy anyway. So it's just like, great for this girl. She gets to meet this guy out of nowhere, and he's just this charismatic English guy who comes in, just quietly confident, just nails it, right? But what he said to me is like, if it doesn't work out with her, there's others, and I can just go and message the others that I met. They still want to meet me. I can go out and get more. In one weekend, he probably sorted his personal life out for the next 2 years, maybe even for the rest of his life. Who knows, right? Best dating experience. So going to clubs is also good as well. Depends on the night. I used to be club promoter. It just depends on the night. I'm not so into it now. You know, once you're doing daytime sessions, honestly, like going out at night after a daytime session is quite fatiguing. Like if before I would be very chill in the day, and then I'll get aggressive at night. I'll be going after the girls at night. Now, if I've been doing a daytime session, I just don't really have the energy to go out afterwards. So when I go to clubs now, it's mostly when I'm taking a date or a girlfriend. I would say that's 90% of the time I'll go to clubs, or just maybe with a mate just now and then. How many countries have I traveled to? I've lived in, well, let me go through it. About 12 in the last 6 years, and then travel beyond that, I don't know, more than that, but lived in UK, Italy, Portugal, Romania, Serbia, North Macedonia, Turkey, Greece, Brazil, Spain. I lived in Spain a little before that, not in the last 6 years, more than a decade ago. And I also lived in France as well for 2 years as well. Dominican Republic. So I don't know how many places I've just listed there, but I've lived in all of those. There's quite a few. And then traveled to many more as well beyond that. Oh, Bosnia as well. Can't forget Bosnia. Lived in Bosnia for 2 months, man. I count living in a place any time where you've gone past that, you know, the first 10 days, 2 weeks of sort of being the euphoria phase to when you get into your routine. I would count, if you go somewhere for, let's say, 2 months, I would say you've lived there, in my opinion. You got into your work routine, you're living. You're not like a tourist for 2 months. And then best dating experiences. I've had some good experiences, man. Spain was good. Dominican's been good. Serbia was good. Greece was good. UK was good. Yeah, all those places were good, man. Were good. I think it's you find your place, man. You find your place. So yeah, once you start to live the international lifestyle, or you start to travel, things start to open up. You know, like we've had friends who've, like Christian's gone out to, he lives in Asia now. He found himself over in Asia and just really enjoyed it. I like Latin America and the Balkans primarily. I've got many more ambitious travel projects though, man, many more. You know, the intersection I'm really interested in is guys who are interested in cold approach and entrepreneurship and travel. Because I honestly think that's a lot of guys. I've noticed this pattern where there's a lot of guys and it's just not just one thing. So I don't really just want to talk about only the woman side of things, because there's the other things that come in. I'm not going to make it an entrepreneurship travel channel. It's still going to be approach women, but I'm going to bring a bit more of that in as well, just like business opportunities. So yeah, yeah, I work remotely. I have a remote business. Yeah. This day and age, mate, most people can work remotely in this day and age. If you're determined, you can do it. Even within the UK, you can still have an advantageous position if you just find a remote job. So many professional jobs now you can work remote, like so many. So some of them don't let you travel internationally, but even if you've got a job, and then as soon as you've got a job, find yourself an angle in the industry. Look at the industry and we'll go, right, what is my angle to earn 50K a year? It probably can be less than that, but let's just go with 50 or 30, 40, 50K a year. What's my angle? Because that money, if you go to some places, if you're earning that in like North Macedonia, That's probably the equivalent of about probably 100K a year job in the UK as a single guy. Honestly, probably a bit more actually. In terms of quality of life, it's probably like earning about 150K. Yeah, it's a crazy thing to think about. So online money counts double or triple. So I would definitely look into online work and online business. It's the future, man. It's the future. Everyone, eventually, we all tend to move in the same direction. Learn cold approach, learn to travel, learn online business, have online businesses or online work. And then, yeah, eventually we build up this brotherhood where we're actually able in the future to meet up together. So maybe, you know, who knows, we might be investing in things together. We might buy properties together. We might buy a base together. Yeah, we fucking set up like some kind of a compound, military compounds. We have like 7 wives each and, you know, whatever. You're in Thailand, work remotely, training MMA. Perfect. This is what you want to do, mate. This is what you want to do. I would go for it. Make it happen. Make it happen. What do you have to do to make that happen? How much do you need? You can probably live in Thailand for a year for like probably about 20 grand, no problem, I'd say. Maybe even a bit less. Yeah, open your mind, man. Open your mind. The UK is it's just one country out of hundreds. It's just one country, man. Yeah. So yeah, open your mind. The international lifestyle is where it is at. So yeah, boys, if you want to get in touch and you're just interested to communicate further, I'm out in Dominican for the following 4 or 5 months. I actually don't know when I'm next going to be in Europe. It's probably going to be in July, but I'm not actually sure. And it won't be until then I'll actually be running an immersion at all and getting really back into this in a more focused way. In the next few months, I'll be putting some infields up. I'll be talking about, I'll be doing stuff about like travel. I'll be doing stuff about lifestyle as well. We'll go down to the shooting range. I'll show you boys, you know, get your hands on some guns. Maybe get down to the dance floor as well. Show you guys a bit of the old dance seduction as well. I just demonstrate stuff and then do some lives as well. But yeah, in terms of like the focus to me right now is my main business. So I'm just coming in here and whenever I can. But yeah, if you think you've got something to offer specifically on the international lifestyle front, I'm very interested to hear from people. So yeah, Joe Blake Lisbon, Instagram, immersions. There's nothing I can offer right now. So if you're in, I mean, we can maybe talk about summer, but I'm not even taking bookings right now. Yeah, I think dance content is important as well for seduction. You know, it's the fastest way to the V is the dance floor, my friend. It's the fucking fastest way by far. It's by far the fastest way. By far the fastest way. And I don't even do it for that. I just like it anyway. I've always liked it. Even when I was a kid. And then as soon as I had the option to actually go to a class, I went. I was about 22. Really enjoyed it, even though it was difficult. And then it's one of the best investments you can ever make to learn to dance. Learn the basics of salsa, bachata, kizomba. You just learn the basics. You're never going to have a problem closing a girl. You're never going to have a problem exciting your girlfriends. Girls just love to be spun around a little bit, you know, like they just fucking love it. It's the type of thing that makes a girl fall in love with you, to be honest. So yeah, it's not that difficult either. So yeah, it's a part of my life that I just don't think about too much, but it's like so fucking cool, so fucking cool. So definitely when I get up to Santiago in a couple of weeks' time, I'll post from the studio up there. I found a studio up there. It was a Venezuelan teacher who, she was actually really cool. She just a cool chick. So I'll get to her studio. Finding the right place to dance as well is kind of important as well. So I'll post a little bit more content on that side of things, get myself down to the shooting range as well, and just show you boys some lifestyle stuff as well. Kind of want this channel to be like almost like a gentleman's club type of feel, you know, like especially right now where I'm not going hard selling you stuff or anything like that. Just like come and join the gentleman's club. watch stuff, learn, practice yourself, and yeah, get yourselves out there as well doing this stuff. Just, you know, don't just watch me do it. Go and fucking do it yourself. Take the inspiration and then go do it yourself. I was inspired by other guys and I went out to do it myself. That's just how it works, man. One guy has a candle, he lights the next guy, he lights the next guy, and this is just how it works, you know. So I'll leave things there for this evening, boys. Peace and love, Josefsky. Thank you for joining, everybody, and yeah, enjoy the rest of your week, boys. And I'll see you whenever I next see you. Take it easy, lads.